Welcome to Home Cinema and Tech Review. In this video, I'd like to talk about how you can use photo studio equipment on-the-go solutions. I made a couple of videos how you can solve like a portable reflector as a screen when you're camping and stuff. And that video was kind of like useful for a lot of people. On that sense, I want to make another video. Right now what you're seeing is a Wombo DALI 1. It's not a brightest projector, but it's a quite small and handy projector. It's a 720p. The setup that you see is what we call in the photo studios seamless backdrop. So what actually this is, it's a rolling paper, goes down pretty much at the end of the floor, and then it rolls around. That way it's just as it creates curve, so you don't see a backdrop. Nowadays, artificial AI does everything for you. We don't care too much of this, but if you're a professional photographer like me over 20 years, you like the done things in without editing. So this is a long paper. It's about 3 meter length pipe and probably 260, 280 paper. So what I'm going to show you how you can use this. These two stands are actually used just like this, light stands, okay? You can put lights on them, mics on them, like boom mics or shotgun mics when movie shooting. You've probably seen some sort of like mic guy. So these are basically tripods and also kind of like acting potentially monopods if you close them up. So you can carry them around. This setup might be useful if you're going to use it outside, but basically keep that in mind. This is a paper, so no rain, no humidity, and no wind. If wind happens, this will shake and bounce around and fall. Even if you put weights on it, it can shake, and if you punch it in any way, it will probably get a hole inside of it. Then you have to cut the entire paper if you don't want to watch a hole in your movie. So this is not the securest way. The other setup could be a photo plexi, we call it. This is basically polymer-based photo backdrop. It's not a paper. It's flexible, much more flexible than a paper, but it can be still, if you bend it too much, you can probably cut it or at least create a line into it. So this is like we can call it CD or DVD, Blu-ray material, but quite thin. It's about 1 millimeter and less, 0.5, 0.7, 1 millimeter up top. This material is quite flexible, and as you can see, it can really create pictures on the go. If you would like to use it, you can think about it, but you have to find a pole and you have to find a clamp to clamp it something, but you don't have to stretch it like a paper or you don't have to stretch it like a cloth. So that way you just have to hang it. You can even put 2 holes inside on the corners and try to hang it inside of a position. As you can see, it is pretty flat, so you don't need anything extra. As you can see, I am creating already a screen. Even with the highlight studio like this, Wombo DALI 1 really achieves a picture when it goes this small. This is probably about 75 to 50 centimeter, a poster size, I guess, but it really creates a photo backdrop for studio equipment like small photos, small objects that we use in the studio. So that could give you an idea. Let me just close the studio lights and show you the picture quality. The camera is tuned to auto. This is DALI 1 we are talking about, so it's not the brightest of the Wombo, but it's portable and it can create pretty big pictures in a small room setup. This is a second or third room, like a bedroom and kids room kind of like projector. I really loved it when I was reviewing it. So as you can see, the picture looks good. Paper performs as it best, but if I do it like this material, let me just show you. This is a bit more reflective than a regular paper, if I can hold it better for you. Not the best, but it is kind of like more reflective, but quite similar. But if you have glossy paper, that could act a little bit more, but I made a dedicated video about different papers, so I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to get in front of the camera, how things work in the roll-up. Since this is a heavy thing, you gotta roll it up, just like a paper. These things are not cheap, by the way. If you're thinking this is a cheap setup, I'm just referring this is on the go kind of like setup. And if you already have papers laying around, you might want to give this a shot. Again, I want to remind you, there are films out there like potentially sticky films that you can apply on the surface. They are also being sold like this pipe style, so quite long. So you can, you know, the car Vinleys, like car films that you cover up entire car. So you have to heat it up and extend it. Those are more durable, but at the back of them, like they have some sort of adhesive. So you can use also like white or quite light paper style like that. They are more durable to humidity. We use them in the photo studio. But problem of them, if you use them, if you bend them, okay, if you don't, you know, put them straight down like this, if you bend it just a little bit, adhesive and the back front surface just gets separated. You know by now, if you haven't tried something like this in a photo studio, I've been doing for 20 years. So basically, I don't recommend those sort of stuff, but if you're going to buy a piece and roll it down just directly or hang it to a place, it's more durable than the regular photo paper like this. So what I'm going to do in the rest, as you can see, I've opened up this section and I'm going to keep hold it. I want to show you even a single man can do this. So I've opened these two, like I'm really loosening them, edges of it, and I took it out. So this is basically a single man piece that you can apply. These are the stands. So I use them with my assistants in the studio, or also if I don't have an assistant at a moment, then I use myself. These are pretty portable and you can, these are kind of like old, that's why they are stiff, but quite small. So you can take two of them inside of a back of a truck or a car. The only thing that you have to calculate the length of the paper, and that's about it. Can you do the otherwise? Like, can you put a pole like vertical and then hold it like that? Well, you can, but tightening the paper, you have to have a clip, and the paper, again, very easily can be, you know, cut down in any action. So I don't recommend to do it with the paper. If you're going to hang it on a clip, let me just show you like this. If you got a tripod like this, buy something like this and try to clip it with some sort of a clamp system. They are easily found in any kind of like website. So you can hold it with two pipes and you can create it. Let me just get it down. If I get it down like this, on a camping base, you can create with two pipes and one backdrop like this. If you can buy bigger ones, no problem. You can hang them again with the two pipe, but you don't have to have a wind to make sure you don't have to have a wind. Otherwise, you will remember my name. Why the hell this guy suggested such a stupid stuff in a camping? I don't suggest to use these devices at the windy situations, but if you don't have a wind, you can use a paper or a photo backdrop. I will drop the links or the descriptions of this sort of things. None of them will create good screens like high gain or ALR style screens. As you can see, this is a white wall. When I close the lights, white wall, performance the same with the paper. This was just another alternative to on-the-go solutions. If you have something laying around like a paper or photo backdrop, this is just about an idea. Otherwise, I don't recommend. Get yourself a proper high-gain screen if you got a low-power projector like this, or get yourself an ALR screen if you want to get the best blacks and best picture. That's what I'm doing for years, but basically I'm showing you the different alternatives. But if you got the budget and dedicated space, just get yourself a proper screen. These are just alternatives. And if you're wondering what kind of papers are acting in the different light setups, I have dedicated video too. Hope to see you in the next video. Let me just open up the lights. Until the next video, hoşça kalın.